of course, we all want to make money. We want to feed our families, but what are you going to do for your community? What are you going to do to bring value? What are you going to do to serve people? Yeah, we got this great idea, but how are you going to wrestle with that idea in order to bring it to fruition? And how is it going to be, profitable? How are you going to serve, your community, serve people?
So talk about stepping up to the plate and taking responsibility, because it's like nice to say and it'd be a great t-shirt or whatever post. But a lot of guys, I think, they get up to the plate once and they strike out, or they get beaned by the ball. And it seems as though in your story, you struck seemingly, okay, it seemed like you got beaned by the ball, you struck out a few times, yet you kept getting back up to take responsibility. Where does that conviction of not become a victim come from?
Great question, because you know what, Ned? I played the victim card off the bat initially because I was like, I followed the law. I did everything I was supposed to. What, and who, what, when, where, why, and then as I talk to my buddies nowadays, they're like, aren't you upset? There's dispensaries on every corner on the block now. Doesn't it? No, because I'm forging my way in life today. So I don't look back. I look forward. And so, as you mentioned, it's a nice saying and it's nice on a t-shirt, but you know what? There's always that voice, you can call it God, or you can call it your own, your personal being, something that tells you, where to navigate or where things are going in life. And you know what, for me, it's always, instead of, what they say, and instead of listening to myself, I talk to myself, because when you listen to yourself, you listen to yourself on doing, you know what, I'm the victim, or this, that, and the other excuses. So instead of listening to myself, I talk to myself. And I think that's what's ultimately important for us as fathers. And instead of listening to that critical, that victim, that the one that, shirk your responsibilities, you know what, talk to yourself. You know what is this the right path for me? If this doesn't work out, then what's my backup plan? If just in talking to yourself,
I love it.
We don't seem to do that nowadays. We just seem to be all up in our heads and all up in our minds, and then talking ourselves, into things that we're listening to ourselves in our mind, as opposed to, you know what, let me figure this out. Let me talk to myself, write things down, journal. And that to me is the key. When instead of it being a t-shirt or a nice saying, you know what? Stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself.
So Ron, what hit me as you're sharing this is, I think a lot of men hear these voices, hear the voice, whatever, the critical, they hear, whether it's a positive, like, hey, you should go do this or consider this, or you suck and whatever. I think we do three things. We tend to just listen, like you said. We tend to go take it to our wife and go, hey, should I do this? Should I do that? Or we go take it to our associations, and maybe we haven't built great associations yet, right? We're with our drinking buddy, and we're like, yo, I was thinking about starting my own business or having another kid or whatever. What? Why did you do that? Your life's already hard. Your wife's already a hag, whatever, right? So we go to these places versus going to ourself and I would say not and communicate with God, right? Which is what you talked about. But I mean, to wrestle with the voice, to wrestle with the questions is such an opportunity. Like, we are men, we were able to create, we have incredible power, and we just sit on our hands. I'm not saying don't talk with your wife, because like you already shared, your wife is incredible. But I do think sometimes we put a burden on her that's not her responsibility. She ain't your freaking mom, dudes, right? Like, hey, mom, should I go play with Timmy? Like, there are certain things that you need to wrestle and work through on your own. And then you can go get affirmation, confirmation, connection with your wife. But what comes up for you as I share those things?
That it's not going to be snap instant. It's
Yeah.
not going to be something that you figure out. When you said the right word, Ned, wrestle.
Yeah.
And wrestle means there's a tussle, there's a struggle,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that it's going to meander up in there for hours or days on end. But you know what? Instead of trying to put it to the back of your mind, it's really going through exercises in your head to try to wrestle and figure out, okay, you know what, what if I do this, then what is my aim, what is my result, what am I
Yeah.
shooting for? Because you know what, as you mentioned, should I go hang out with Timmy or should I start this business? Well, it is Timmy, is it bringing you up or putting you down?
Yeah.
Is he challenging you when you start that business? What are you going to do? Well, of course, we all want to make money, we want to feed our families, but what are you going to do for your community? What are you going to do to bring value?
Yep.
What are you going to do to serve people? Yeah, we got this great idea, but how are you going to wrestle with that idea in order to bring it to fruition? And how is it going to be, profitable? How are you going to serve, your community, serve people? Those are the things that we don't necessarily wrestle with, Ned. We
Yeah.
just come up with the idea and like, okay, we're off to the races, and it's much more in depth and it's much more involved than that. And I think that's where we're missing or where we're lacking. And again, yeah, you can go to your wife and she can, give you a couple, things of input, if you will. But again, yeah, they're not our mother. So that's where we have to be leaders and be creative and unlock those juices. Because it's for some of us, it may be locked and it's going to take some time to unlock it.
Dude. And I'll tell you, man, I feel like I'm tight with God. Like I love God. I love the pursuit of that. And something that I've been doing since January 1st is I set this, all right, just set my timer for 10 minutes and just shut up. Just listen.
Yes.
And it's hard, dude. It's hard. Listening is hard.
It is.
But I've noticed, like even this morning, I'm like, set it for 12, like set a little, like I'm enjoying this time. And when I journal afterwards, I feel like there's clarity. And it's not necessarily like, this is what you're supposed to do. It's more about, this is who you are. And this is how you can go and be. Like, I want to be Ned. I don't want to do Ned. Yes. And that's where I'm at in this listening process and enjoying it.